Good morning, children. So coming to today's revision program, okay, we'll be discussing about the chapter thermodynamics. It's a chapter review. So coming to this chapter of thermodynamics, okay, we will first start with some definitions. Okay, so hope all of you remember the definitions. What is system, different types of system, then types of thermodynamic variables like intensive and extensive variables, what are path and state variables. Okay, theory bits will be related to the definition part. So hope you all know those definitions. So here we can basically divide this chapter into 6 parts. Okay, we may get numericals related to work done. Okay, but for calculating the work done, we can calculate the work done by using a PV graph or by using a relation between pressure and volume, or volume temperature and pressure temperature. Okay, they'll give you equations relating these 3 terms, that means these 3 thermodynamic variables. Based on this, you have to calculate the work done. Then second set of numericals we will do on first law of thermodynamics, and then coming to different processes, comparative study of isobaric, isothermal, adiabatic and so on. Next coming to relation between Cp and Cv, okay, how you will get the numericals related to Cp-Cv relations. After that, first law and Carnot's heat engine, and we end up the chapter by calculating efficiency for different types of graphs, like how to convert pressure volume graph to volume temperature and evaluate the efficiency and so on. So these are the 6 main subtopics in this particular chapter where you may get numericals from any of them. Okay, so let us quickly begin with the first part. Okay, now look at the questions related to work done. Okay, the question says an ideal gas undergoes a thermodynamic process according to 3 different equations. Okay, it's following the relation P is equal to K into V cube. Here I gave a function of volume as a function of temperature. Last is pressure as a function of temperature. In all the 3 different cases, they are asking you to evaluate the work done by the gas. Limits will be provided. Okay, say here the volume is changing from V1 to V2. Okay, in this case temperature changes from Ti to Tf. I is initial and F is final. Any limits, whatever is given. Even in this case, let the temperature change from Ti to Tf. But in all the 3 questions, we are asked to evaluate the work done, and the gases are ideal. So as long as it's an ideal gas, we know it obeys ideal gas equation. PV is equal to nRT. Now for whatever be the thermodynamic process, whichever equation it is obeying, we know work done is always calculated by a general relation. What is the work done formula? Integral of P into dV. Pressure and dV is the change in volume. So by making use of this relation, let us see how to solve all the 3 bits. Start with the first question. Since we already have a pressure as a function of volume, so what should be the work done? Integral of P into dV. Volume is changing from V1 to V2. Replace this P as kV cube. Integral of K into V cube into dV. Limits V1 to V2. So it's a one-step integration. K is a constant. V cube integral is V to the power 4 by 4. What are the limits? V1 to V2. So when you substitute the limits, you will get the work done as K by 4, V2 to the power 4 minus V1 to the power 4. Okay, so this is a simple equation for calculating the work done, where pressure is a function of volume. Okay, when you get pressure as a function of volume, it's very easy to evaluate the work done. Now come to the second bit. Here pressure is not given. Volume is a function of temperature. Then in such a case, let's see how to evaluate the work done. I told you, because the gas is ideal, it obeys ideal gas equation. PV is equal to nRT. If the question has n number of moles, continuous n. If it is only 1 mole, put the value of n as 1. Okay, we know that PV is equal to nRT. And we know to calculate the work done, we always begin with this relation. Pressure into dV. Since P is not given to you, I will write P as nRT divided by V. Okay, I am modifying the expression. I need pressure. What is pressure equal to? nRT divided by V. But what is V according to the given question? It's alpha by T square. So you get P as nRT by In the place of volume, I will write alpha by t square. So this will become alpha t square into t cube. Call this as equation 1. See, did we get the pressure? What else we need to calculate the work done? dV. Since volume is given, differentiate this relation to get dV. Since V is a function of t, find dV by dt. So what is dV equal to? Alpha is constant, t to the power minus 2 in differential. Okay, t power minus 2 is minus 2 t to the power minus 3 into dt. I have differentiated this relation. Alpha is a constant, t to the power minus 2 differential is minus 2 t to the power minus 3 into a dt. Call this as equation 2. See, we got pressure, we got dV. Put both of them in this. What will be work done equal to? Integral P nRT cube by alpha dV alpha, okay, minus I'll write here, minus 2 divided by t cube into dt. Alpha got cancelled, t cube and t cube also got cancelled. We are left with minus 2 nr. So remove this minus 2 nr outside. Minus 2 nr integral of dt, temperature changing from T initial to T final, whatever limits they have provided. Now integrate the relation and tell me what will be your work done equal to. When you simplify it, minus 2 nr dt integral is T final minus initial. So your equation for work done comes out to be, so here I write minus 2 nr into T final minus T initial. If I remove the minus sign, T initial minus T final. This will give you the amount of work done in changing the temperature from T initial to T final. So when volume is a function of temperature, make use of ideal gas equation and then find out the answer. So every time we will only make use of W is equal to integral of P dV alone for calculating work done. Now look at the third example. Okay, so in this example, here we have pressure as a function of, volume as a function of temperature. Whereas in this question, it is pressure as a function of temperature. Follow the similar procedure. Let's see what should be the answer. Okay, I'll erase the first one. Okay, pressure is a function of temperature. This is your question. Now, we know P is equal to, how do we evaluate work done? Integral of P into dV. Replace P, because we already know what is P. Beta T cube into dV. See, this is dV. From ideal gas equation, can we write V as nRT divided by P? Okay, we know the pressure, but we do not know what is the value of dV. To get the value of dV, I'll be making use of ideal gas equation. nRT by P. But what is P according to the question? It is nRT by beta T cube, which is nR by beta T to the power minus 2. Now differentiate this relation to get dV. What is dV equal to? nR by beta is a constant. T per minus 2 differential. Minus 2 T to the power minus 3 into dt. See, now did we get the value of dV? Pressure is already given. dV we have got. Substitute both of them in P dV and then we will integrate the relation. Integrate it. Beta T cube. Instead of dV, I will write this whole function. Minus 2 nR by beta. Minus 2 nR by beta T per minus 3 into dt. T per plus 3 and minus 3 gets cancelled. Beta and beta also gets cancelled. What is work done equal to? Minus 2 nR. Integral of dt will give me T. Limits are from initial to final. Substitute the limits. Minus 2 nR T final minus T initial. So this gives you the amount of work done if a thermodynamic process obeys the relation P is equal to beta T cube. So these are some 3 examples where some equations will be given and you will have to evaluate the work done. Then let's look into some more applications. Okay, look at this question. It's a van der Waals equation. That is P plus A by V square into V minus B equal to RT for 1 mole of a gas. This is a real gas equation. And from this relation, they are asking you to evaluate the work done when volume changes from V1 to V2. I repeat the question. From van der Waals equation, determine the work done when volume is changing from V1 to V2. How do we evaluate it? Just now I told you, work done should be any process. This is not going to change. P into D. So now I need the value of P from the given question. Tell me what is pressure from the given relation. I'll modify this relation. P plus A by V square is equal to RT by V minus B. Because I need pressure to calculate the work done. Then what is P equal to? RT by V minus B minus A by V square. Call this as equation 1. Now you know pressure. Pressure is a function of volume. So directly put it here. Integral of RT by V minus B minus A by V square into dV. Integrate it now. Integral of RT by V minus B into dV. RT is a constant. 1 by V minus B integral. Tell me what is integral of V minus B whole to the power minus 1. V minus B. I repeat. I'll write it as 2 steps. Integral of RT by V minus B into dV. First term minus integral of A by V square into dV. R and T are constants. What is integral of 1 by V into dV? We know it's log V. But instead of V, we have V minus B. So write it. RT constant. Integral of 1 by V minus B is ln of V minus B by differential of V minus B, that is 1. What are the limits? V1 to V2 minus integral of A by V square. A is a constant. V to the power minus 2 integral is V to the power minus 2 plus 1 by minus 2 plus 1. The limits are from V1 to V2. Now just put the limits and simplify the relation. What will your answer be? Okay, I am writing the answer here. Work done will come out to be RT log V2 minus B minus log V1 minus B. I will write it as log V by B, A by B form. V2 minus B by V1 minus B minus V to the power minus 2 plus 1 by minus 2 plus 1 is minus 1 by V. This will become plus A into 1 by V. Limits V1 to V2. Substitute the limits. RT log V2 minus B by V1 minus B, first term, plus upper limit minus lower limit 1 by V2 minus 1 by V1. So this gives you work done for a real gas which is obeying the van der Waals relation. So these are some of the questions based on equations and evaluating the work done. Okay, now coming to questions for evaluating work done based on pressure volume graphs. Okay, look at the first question. Pressure and volume graph is given like a triangle A, B and C. Okay, the arrow indicates the direction in which the process is taking place. Now for this question, every data is given. So first thing that you have to check when you are calculating work done from pressure volume graph is whether volume is on x-axis and pressure on y-axis or not. If pressure is on y-axis, volume on x-axis, then the area enclosed is going to give me the amount of work. First step to check, because sometimes they give pressure on x-axis, volume on y-axis. So please check before you solve. That is the first point that you have to check. Second is units, whether the given data is in SI system or some other system. Like here I have given liter atmospheres. In this case it is meter cube and Pascal. So after you check this only, start solving the question. Now start for the first bit. Work done in the process from A to B. So this is A and this is B. It's a straight line parallel to pressure axis. There is no change in volume. Volume is not changing. So no area is enclosed. So what is work done in this process from A to B? Okay, we don't have any area enclosed below the line. So no work is done. Now come from B to C. B to C. This is the area enclosed. The shaded portion. Find out the area. Area of triangle plus rectangle. First area of triangle. Half into base 2 units. Height is 4 units. Plus area below this curve. The rectangular area. 2 into 2. That is 4. First find the magnitude. 4 plus 4 it is 8 joules. Now check the sign. If volume increases, work done is positive. Okay, what is the sign convention we take? Whenever there is an increase in volume, work done is positive. If volume is decreasing, work done is negative. Now check out whether in the process B to C, volume is increasing or decreasing. There is an increase in volume from 2 to 4. So what is the sign? Plus. Again I repeat, when you are doing questions on pressure and volume graph, check whether pressure is on y-axis and volume is on x-axis or not. Second, the direction, whether volume is increasing or decreasing. If volume is increasing, work done is positive. If volume is decreasing, work done is negative. Now we have got the work done in first and second steps. Third one, C to A. See, when you move from C to A, is volume increasing or decreasing? Decreasing. So what should be the sign? Minus. Area enclosed by this AC. That means only this portion's area. 2 into 2 minus 4 joules. And what is the net work done in this whole process? We know any closed thermodynamic process, work done is area enclosed by this triangle or sum of all the three values. Okay, when you add all of them, what is the answer? 4 joules. 0 plus 8 minus 4. What is the net work done equal to? 4. So if the cyclic process is clockwise, see it is going clockwise, we get positive work. Anti-clockwise, we get negative work. Okay, remember the sign. This is how you can find out the work done for pressure versus volume graph. Look at the second example. Okay, here I have taken volume in liters and pressure in Pascal. So I need work done from A to B. Is it the area enclosed? Calculate the enclosed area. Area of triangle plus area of rectangle. What should be work done equal to? First calculate the value, then we will convert the units. Area of triangle, half into base into height, plus area of this rectangle, 3 into 2, 6 plus 1, 7 liter atmosphere. But don't leave the answer in liter atmosphere. If options are in joules, convert it. We know 1 liter is 10 to the power minus 3 meter cube. 1 atmosphere is 10 to the power 5 Pascal. So when you convert it, 1 liter atmosphere is 100 joules. So your answer will be 700 joules. So convert the units and then give the answer in joules. And sometimes if options are in calories, then also you can get the answer in calories. Okay, what is the conversion? 1 calorie is 4.2 joules. Now look at this question. So here also they are asking you to calculate the work done in a cyclic process. Since the process is cyclic, first I will name it. A to B as one semicircle, B to A is the reverse process. See, first if I only take the process from A to B, is this the area enclosed? And it is positive area. When you are moving from B to C, volume is decreasing, it is a negative work. This region, that means crossed lines are giving me negative work. Vertical lines, positive work. Crossed lines are negative work. What is the net work done? Is it positive? Just now I told you, clockwise we get positive answer. Anti-clockwise we get negative. So first write the sign, work done is positive. And I need area of this circle. We know area is equal to pi r square. But here I will take 2 radii. One radius on x-axis, another radius on y-axis. Dimensionally, it should be pressure into volume. Pressure into volume. How to write the area? Pi into R1 into R2. Tell me if this distance is, diameter is P2 minus P1. What will be the radius? P2 minus P1 by 2. What is this radius? Half of V2 minus V1. So work done should be pi into P1, P2 minus P1 into V2 minus V1 by 2 by 2. So if values are given, substitute the values, otherwise leave the answer in terms of P1, P2, V1 and V2. Okay, now come to this set of questions. Here the question is to find out, give the sign of work done, only sign, whether it is positive or negative from the given 3 graphs. Then how will you identify? Okay, let's go from last question. Look at this question. It has 2 closed regions. If you start from this point, this is how the process is taking place. Now, this area, just now I told you, any closed loop, if it is clockwise, we get positive work done. Anti-clockwise, this is negative work done. Positive area is more, negative area is less. So what should be the net work done in this case? Positive, because positive area is greater than negative. Same rule you can apply even for 2 circles. This is clockwise, whereas this is anti-clockwise. Positive, negative. Which area is greater in magnitude? Positive area enclosed is more in magnitude. So the net work done here also is positive. Look at that example. It's a cyclic process again. A to B, B to A. See, A to B, this is the whole area enclosed. B to A, only this is the area. Positive area is more, negative area is less. Or just see, is it clockwise or anti-clockwise cycle? Clockwise. So as long as it is clockwise, your work done will be positive. So if sign of work done is asked, you can just check whether it is clockwise or anti-clockwise and then give the answer. So these are some of the questions, okay, related to calculation of work done either by using graphs or by making use of equations. Okay, now coming to questions related to first law of thermodynamics and its applications. Okay, so what is the first law of thermodynamics? Okay, we know first law of thermodynamics, how do we represent it? dq is equal to du plus dw. That means the total energy what you have supplied to the system is distributed or it is utilized in increasing the internal energy and doing some external work. And what is the sign convention we follow? If energy is supplied to the system, added to the system, we take it as plus sign, minus dq if it is extracted or released from the system. Energy given to the system is positive, released or given out from the system is taken as negative sign. What is the sign convention for internal energy? Increase in internal energy is positive, decrease of internal energy is taken as negative. Okay, while studying internal energy, remember the points. Okay, how did we define internal energy? It is the inherent energy possessed by the system. Okay, you can express it as PV by gamma minus 1 or nRT divided by gamma minus 1. And internal energy is a state function. It only depends on initial and final state. Change in internal energy only depends on its initial and final state, not on the path followed. Then coming to dW, okay, how do we take the sign convention? Work done by the system when volume is increasing is positive, and work done on the system when volume decreases, we take it as negative. Hope you remember the basics of first law. What is the significance of first law? It's another form of conservation of energy. So based on this first law of thermodynamics, okay, let us see how to solve some simple applications. Okay, now come to this question. If the question says you have to determine the change in internal energy if 1 gram of water converts to 1671 centimeter cube of steam, and it is taking place at 1 atmospheric pressure. They have given you the value of 1 atmosphere as well as latent heat of vaporization. Okay, we know if you have to convert water to steam, what is the amount of energy required? dq is equal to, remember, m into L for state change. Mass is, because they have given you 1 gram, okay, so it is 1 gram to kg. I am converting it into 10 power minus 3. L is in calorie per gram. Okay, so what is the answer? First, let us keep it in grams. 1 gram into 540 calories. Convert into joules. 540 into 4.2 joules. Find out the value. 54 into 42. 2268 a joule. See, we have calculated the amount of energy required to convert 1 gram of water into steam. And now to calculate the internal energy, I will be making use of first law of thermodynamics. What is the first law of thermodynamics? dq is equal to du plus dw. dq we already got the answer, 2268 equal to du we have to evaluate. The process is taking place at atmospheric pressure. Can we write work done as pressure into change in volume? Because it's isobaric process. Pressure is P, volume is V2 minus V1. And we know the change in volume. Since density of water is 1 gram will be equal to 1 centimeter cube. What is the change in volume? 2268 equal to du plus, pressure is 10 per 5. Change in volume is 1670 centimeter cube. I am converting into meter cube, 10 per minus 6. Simplify, 2268 will give you du plus 10 per minus 6 into 10 per 5. Okay, that will be 10 per minus 1, 167. So what is the change in internal energy? 2268 minus 167. Answer 2101 joules. So this is how you can find out the change in internal energy by making use of first law of thermodynamics. Now look at one more question based on first law of thermodynamics. Okay, look at the question. I have given the data on the board. See, they are saying that a thermodynamic process occurs from initial to final state in two different steps, in two different paths. One is from IAF, taking this path. Another is I to B and B to F. And this is the data given to you. U initial, here internal energy is 100. Then work done from A to F. From here to here it is 200. I to B is 50. B to F is 100. UB, energy, internal energy at this point, they have given us 200. And the energy supplied in the process IAF is given as 500 joules. So with this given data, they are asking you to find out this ratio. The ratio of energy supplied from B to F by energy supplied from I to B. So to get this answer, remember whenever you move from one process or one point to another point, internal energy, I told you it is a state function. It only depends on initial and final states. So whatever is the path you are following, change in internal energy is not going to be different. So I will make use of first law of thermodynamics for the two different paths and solve the question. So for the path IAF, what is your first law of thermodynamics? Total energy supply should be work done from IAF plus internal energy change, because it is moving from initial to final. How will you write the change in internal energy? U final minus U initial. Okay, I am writing the change as final minus initial. Total amount of energy supplied is equal to dW plus du. So we have already given what is the energy supplied and what is the work done. Now from this, find out what is the energy supplied throughout the process IAF. It's 500. 500 is equal to work done along this path. We know there is no work done from I to A, but there will be work done from A to F, because IA is parallel to pressure axis, no area enclosed. So work done from IAF is nothing but equal to work done from A to F. What is the work done from A to F from this given data? It's 200. plus U final. We do not know this final value. Initial value is given as 100. Find out what is the final energy. U final is equal to 500 minus 100. This is 400 joules. Call this as equation 1. Now I will apply the same first law of thermodynamics for the process I to B. Energy supplied from I to B should be UB minus UI, change in internal energy, plus work done from I to B. So since we need this value of QIB, I leave it as it is. QIB is equal to UB. What is UB? 200. Initial energy is 100. Plus work done from I to B is given as 50. So you will get QI to B, energy supplied from I to B, as 100 plus 50, 150 joules. Call this equation 2. Again apply first law for the process B to F. This is for the path IB. Now for the path B to F. Total energy supplied from B to F should be UF minus UB, change in internal energy, plus work done from B to F. So QBF is equal to U final 400 minus UB is 200. So I will make it 200 plus what is the work done from B to F according to the question? 100. Is QBF coming out to be 300 joules? See, we have got energy supplied from B to F, energy supplied from I to B. So what should be your answer? I need the ratio between them. BF divided by IF, energy of these two, 350 by 150, answer will be 2. So Q B to F by Q I to B will be equal to 2. Okay, so this is your answer, which is based on first law of thermodynamics.